Whew. It was raining outside. Had to run out and grab my dog and a bunch of stuff out there that I was messing with. Anyways, today, jumping into Ren, and we're here in my living room because I was sitting around drinking some coffee and eating a little muffin that my wife made last night, which is banana and chocolate chip and things like that, and it's so delicious. And I just thought, this is the setting that I want to watch some more Ren videos. And I had heard you guys say maybe to try some more of his like upbeat stuff and everything. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to check out some of the more upbeat things. I'm going to just kind of click on some of the videos that I think have been good, that people have recommended. And we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it. So let's jump into it, and hope you guys like my selections. Let's go. We're going to start off with Power. Okay, just jamming in the car. All right.
Power.
Okay. That's nice. Let's see, have fun.
These kids don't play my shit, I never had a top 10. Maybe it's cause I sing about violence and depression. They say don't blame these kids, just focus on yourself, friend. Well, if they don't like what I'm doing now, then fuck them. Don't trip, I
okay.
the anti-learning licks like John Frusciante, smoking spliffs and popping candy, idolizing Sid and Nancy. Woo! Rock and roll in my soul, bumping knacking cold on the dole, fish and chips and games consoles, council house and violent flow. But life weren't sweet at home. Mum and dad took a trip and they split shalom. What will be, but me, I hate to see my mum alone. Late night crying, get so high to try to silence sounds of fighting. Through the walls I heard love dying, so I focused on my...
Okay, dang. Dude, something that I'm wondering is what the role is of this other guy sitting here. Like, did he just like call up an Uber and was like, hey, do you mind if I just film my music video in your front seat? That'd be pretty awesome if I could do that, buddy. And because it's Ren, he's like, heck yeah, man. All right, I just wanted to pull up some of the lyrics so that way I could kind of go through some of those too, because I heard some really great stuff in there. Because, you know, I love to just like talk about his lyrics too. Pause it for forever, listen to the lyrics. But overall, he's just kind of saying like, okay, here I am, I'm this musician, I'm this artist, and a lot of people don't maybe play some of my stuff, some of the kids don't play my stuff because maybe I talk about like real things. I talk about violence and depression and things like that. And you can tell he's a little bitter, he's a little frustrated about that, because he has a line that says, you know, don't blame these kids, just focus on yourself, Ren. Well, if they don't like what I'm doing, then, you know, so... But yeah, overall, it's a really upbeat, you know, kind of fun song to bump around to and everything. But, you know, he's still talking about some heavy stuff at the same time, too. You know, talking about, you know, life weren't sweet at home. Mom and dad took a trip and they split shalom. What will be but me? I hate to see my mom alone, a late night crying. You know, saying all this stuff, you know, that's still frustrating, you know, to have lived through and things like that. But I always like how people flow back into the chorus, you know, of a song or a hook, you know. So he's saying silent sounds, get so high to try to silence sounds of fighting through the walls that I heard, love dying, so I focus on my power. You know, that's what it was. I focused on my power. And yeah, it's just like a nice way to throw back into that. So let's keep going. I'm excited to hear something upbeat and more like rapping stuff from him too. Whereas the singing and all the other stuff is really awesome, but this is a little different than what I've been listening to so far. Let's go. Whoops.
That's what it was. I focused on my... Now let's go back. These kids don't play my shit, I never had a gold plaque. My style is old school, but I swear this ain't a throwback. I put my visions into rhythms on a dope track. To understand the place I'm coming from, let's go back. When I was 16, I was a sick teen, I was a victim of my head. I was just 16, up in the kitchen, racking up lines till my nose bled. 16, in an affliction, in an addiction with my dread. I was just 16, I was quite sick then, I was a prick then, I was a pleb, but fuck it, we're all misguided.
Well, let's pause it for a second, because he's going to keep going. But he's kind of going back to the whole, people don't play my stuff. I don't have a gold plaque. Obviously, people do play his stuff. Like, he's got 8 million views on this. And he's definitely making money off of it. So that's not a problem, because 8 million views on a song with such limited recording, like, budget. I mean, he's just probably got 2 phones set up or something like that, recording himself. So there's definitely nothing crazy. And maybe he spent a couple times doing it around the blocks. But so he's definitely making money, but he's not getting like the recognition in the traditional way, which can, I'm sure, be frustrating. And at the same time, I'm sure he's having to always tell himself, don't worry about the traditional stuff. You may never get a Grammy, or you may never get some of these other things he's probably told himself in the past, but you're getting recognition where it matters, which is from the fans, which is, I hope he can always see that, because that's really all that matters. And most artists who get those Grammys and everything else, they hit points where they realize, like, it's not the Grammy, it's not these things, it's the fans anyways. But he goes into saying, when I was 16, I was a sick teen, which is clever. I was a victim of my head. I was just 16 up in the kitchen, racking up lines till my nose bled. Yeah, so already at such a young age, addicted to drugs, things like that, with an addiction with my dread as well. But I like how he just keeps kind of going back with the 16 thing. I was just 16. I was quite sick then. I was a prick then. I was a pleb. Just kind of going at himself too, realizing like he's come a long ways from then, but I'm still, struggling at the same time too, but not as much as I used to be. So let's jump back in.
Then I was a prick, then I was a pleb, but fuck it, we're all misguided individuals, life can suck it. My cup ain't half full, man, I'm filling up the whole bucket. I'll drink my tears so I can drown my sorrow, sing like I might die tomorrow, live note for note, I go for broke on every single song I wrote, and every single song I write brings freedom to my weary mind, a healing that you'll only find inside an intricate design of kicks and snares and fat bass lines. I flip the script until I find my
You can tell that guy's enjoying it too.
It is what it is.
That's such a good hook too. So jumping back in, he's talking about we're all misguided. I really, like I said, my cup ain't half full, man. I'm filling up the whole bucket, which is awesome. I'll drink my tears so I can drown my sorrows, which is awesome. Instead of drinking alcohol or whatever, I'll drink my tears. Sing like I might die tomorrow, which he's felt before, and no for no, I go for broke. Yeah, I mean, he talks about how he's just always swinging for the fences. He's always going at it as hard as that he can. And that's probably the only way that he can really feel like he's actually doing what he wants to do. Like, he's doing what he really loves, but he has to go for broke. He has to go full throttle with it. That, I'm sure, gives him that purpose and that feeling, that makes him feel like he's doing something really good. But yeah, I love that this guy's like vibing. He's like vibing like the rest of us. I'd love it if you look through it, if you can tell like how many takes it took based on the guy's facial expressions. Like maybe like the first 2 times he's really into it, third time around he's kind of like just vibing a little bit. But Rin's doing really good. And then like you see another one where he's like back into it, like the 4th or 5th time. It's like it's come back around and he's in it now. So anyways, let's take it just a little bit back and go back into it.
I focus on my now run the track. Get it?
That's awesome. Such a good hook still.
Get it? Power. Get it?
Nice. Also, what I love about that too is, you know, I'm sure that song wasn't released before putting the music video out. And so this is his moment where he's like riding through the town. He's like riding through the city and everything, playing this song, knowing, okay, it's done, it's finished, I finally get to release it. And just sitting there with his buddy, you know, riding through it all, just really vibing to it and everything too. And, you know, he's just excited for everyone to get to hear this and for it to come out. And I love that he's talking about like his power, you know, like what is your power? Like what is that power that you've got? You know, for him, it's the music, it's the artistry, it's those types of things, that it's his voice, it's his uniqueness, you know, that artistic expression. Like he's got so much power in that way. And he's just got power, which we all do, just in who we are as individuals, who we are as human beings. Like we have power just within that, just of who we are as being a person and everything. And I think when you recognize that you have that innate power, that innate ability, and that innate worth of a voice, of that type of stuff, then you can recognize the power that you actually have. And I think that's something that he does a really good job of trying to highlight, is that you don't have to be just a musician or an artist or have this special ability to be someone of value and of someone of purpose and worth and all these things and have this actual power, you know, in this form. Just you, who you are, has this. And to you all, I would throw that back to you. Like, what is your power? What is that thing that you recognize you have? Maybe it is your artistic expression, your ability to be good with words, or like me, I'm a therapist. I feel like I have a good ability to be a mediator, a moderator, someone to show people, you know, what they're not really seeing themselves and put it in a way that they can understand it better. You know, I don't do that great all the time, but when I'm sitting in my chair in my office and I'm doing it, you know, as my job, I do a really good job at it. I don't always do a good job at it, you know, just in regular life when I'm not on, you know. But, you know, we all have this ability to do that. It's like telling a comic, like, oh, tell me a joke. You know, it's like, that's not really how it works. I need to, you know, it's a little different. But they do have that power to tell jokes, to tell about life in a funny way that makes us all relate to it. And Ren, you might say him like, oh, play a song, write me a song. And he could do it, you know, a cover or one of his own songs, but it's going to be difficult to make one up like right on the spot, you know. And so for you, you may not be good right on the spot with some things, but what is it that if you practice or you put your focus towards or anything else, do you have like some innate power with? And really hone in on that. So often we focus on our weaknesses and how we can make ourselves better. Like, man, like I'm overweight, or I, you know, I'm not good at singing, or I'm not good at my job, or whatever it is. Like I struggle at these things, but I bet there's parts of your job, there's parts of your physical health, there's parts of your, you know, artistic expressions or anything. I bet there's parts of it that you are actually good at, but you're focusing too much on that, like one weakness that you have. You know, for me, when I release my own music onto this channel, so often I criticize myself for my voice because I know that I don't have as good of a voice as someone like Ren or Ed Sheeran or Taylor Swift or name any pop singer, you know, that I'm not going to have as good of a voice as. But I believe that I have an ability to write songs, and, you know, it helps me express myself. And I know that a lot of people struggle to do what I'm able to do. Not that I'm like a master or a genius at it, but I watch people try to write songs at times and they struggle with it, and I know that I can do it, so I'm going to do it. and I'm not going to worry about the one area that I feel like I really struggle at. And for you, that's what I would encourage you to do. You might have an area that you struggle at, but don't focus so much on that one piece of it. Don't let that one piece stop you from using your power, using your voice, using your abilities. Focus on what you are good at, and in time, that thing will shape up. That thing will become better, as you're able to do these other things. Or you'll realize that it's not as important as you once thought it was, and that people are attracted to those other things, and the fact that you aren't so amazing at that one thing actually makes you set apart and more unique from other people. So there's a song called Laser Life by the Blood Brothers, and when I heard it for the first time, I thought these guys are awful at singing. But in time I realized, no, they're good at singing, but they have a very unique way of doing it and showcasing it. And their music, when you first listen to the way they're singing, doesn't sound great comparatively to any typical pop song or something like that. But they have this cool uniqueness to their voice and style that actually does sound good. And you do think to yourself, oh, this actually is cool. Like, their voices are really neat. When I listen to My Chemical Romance and Gerard Way live especially, he does these weird theatrical things with his voice where it's not good at all as far as singing wise goes, where he's like in the song Mama, he's like mama, mama, he does these things like that, or the way he carries a melody, instead of going oh, he's like oh, he's very dramatic and theatrical with it, and it's not good quote unquote singing, but it's good emotional expression. And I think that, that's what you got to aim for, is you got to aim for the expression piece, and the other stuff will come in time too. So figure out what your power is. What is that thing that really is good that you have in yourself, and try to highlight that a little bit more rather than worrying all the time about what it is that you don't have and things like that. So that's what I got to say. That's it. If I had any homework assignment for you guys as a therapist, that would be it. But thank you all for giving me the assignment of looking up some more fun stuff from Rin, that more upbeat stuff. I'm going to listen to some more right here at my table as I fill up my coffee a little bit more. So thank you all once again. I would encourage you guys to join the membership, just subscribe in general. That's really awesome and amazing. I love it. The more people join the membership, the more stuff I'm going to be able to do with it. Right now, I'm just trying to post videos on there that people can see, because I can't really do too much until I have a lot of people on there to do stuff with. So I might set a goal for myself of like, once I hit a certain amount of members, then I can start doing these cool things. But the members who do join right now are just mostly supporting the channel, even more so because maybe they care about it a lot. So please be one of those people. I really want this to be a cool community and not just something that I do, but I want it to be a cool community. You're gonna keep seeing new, unique videos where I'm doing more like photography stuff. I'm gonna clean out my shed. That's gonna be stupid and fun, where I clean out my shed and try to like renovate it and make it nice. Maybe some of you guys will like that, but I'll have some, cool things going along with it, try to make it more like video, not just like a time lapse, but, add some cool, unique things to it to make it worth watching, kind of in that like Casey Neistat style or Van Neistat style where they do that stuff. And then I'm going to be working on my child's hobbit house, playhouse that I have in the backyard. I added like a, plastic like roofing to it, and it just rained. So I'm going to get to go out there right now and see if it actually helped rain not get into it. And I'm going to be adding like some windows and things to it as well. So I'm going to record myself doing that type of stuff. Just some lifestyle things that hopefully will be fun for you guys to watch too. It's just ways of showing how to have more expression and things like that into your life. And just me being my ADHD self and doing things like that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all later. Hope you have a good time. Bye. See you in the comments.